Hello. If you're watching this, I hope you are well, safe, and happy. My name is Noah Thomas. I'm 21 years old and I'm from Southwest London. I am a former student of the Mount View Academy of Dramatic Art in Peckham, having graduated earlier this year, and currently a professional actor. At the moment, you can find me at the Apollo Theatre on Shaftesbury Avenue in the West End production of Everybody's Talking About Jamie, where I play Jamie. This happens to be my first professional job and the joy of my life so far. The show is a new British musical inspired by a BBC Three documentary in 2011. The story centres around Jamie New, a 16-year-old boy from Sheffield who dreams of becoming a drag queen. And in order to get closer to that dream, he decides he's going to attend his school prom in a dress. The show is ultimately about community, love, positivity, and living in your truth. I joined the show at the top of 2020 and I am lucky enough to be the third actor to play the role. Making my professional debut in this part has been a whirlwind experience. The demand for this role is high. Singing, dancing, acting, drag, 6-inch stilettos, and being in every single scene of the 2-hour, 40-minute piece. It has required me to be extremely mature and disciplined and present for everyone I'm working with. It also comes with a lot of nerves and pressure, mainly from my own standards and the pressure I put on myself. I really want to be working at the best of my ability and fulfill my duty as an actor. I wouldn't be able to do my job without everyone else in that theatre who makes it possible, regardless of the show primarily being about my character. Now, our theatre industry is on the whole closed right now. It has been closed since mid-March. However, we are delighted to be resuming performances of Everybody's Talking About Jamie at the Apollo from the 12th of December with strict social distancing and COVID safety in order. The UK tour will hopefully resume next year, and the feature film adaptation will be in cinemas in spring 2021. I've been asked to speak to you today about confidence, and that is quite a tricky subject. It is definitely not a finite point. It's not a destination or an end. There is no confidence switch that you can just turn on one day and it remains to the rest of time. Confidence is work and going through uneasy stages and losing it completely. There are days I'm sure we've all had when we felt even just a tiny bit more confident than the day before and thought, well, I'd love this to hang around. There are probably days when we wish we were a little less confident, as it maybe had got us into trouble or made us feel embarrassed. And I suppose other days we just have no idea what confidence is anymore, no matter how habitual it is to us. Now, I'm going to be speaking to you about confidence through the lens of my profession, acting. It's a job and an art form that requires you to be confident and assured in many different mediums. The first primarily being yourself. So much of what a director or a producer or even an audience or a viewer is looking for in an actor is how assured and comfortable they are within themselves and how they're then able to utilize that to tell the story of the character they're playing. The second is a lot to do with practical work. Having the confidence to voice your ideas on a script, to be silly and playful in rehearsals, to be vulnerable and courageous on screen, and to be bold and engaging on stage. Our job is to be as true to the story and the characters as possible. So you have to have confidence that you are capable of doing that and that the people who have cast you believe you can do that too. The third is confidence to trust the process. Rehearsals for any show or film or any kind of art is intense and you need to be alert and prepared. Once you've done your research and read the script many times, you need to get in the room with the director or on stage with your fellow actors and trust that it will have paid off. Of course, there comes a certain level of confidence with stepping out on stage in front of a packed audience or stepping in front of the camera with a whole film crew watching you. But believe me, actors get nervous too. How nervous is various depending on person to person. Some people thrive in front of an audience. Some people have to ease themselves in. Some people, like me right now, are nervous even speaking to a camera with no one else in the room. However, if acting has taught me anything, it's how to be relaxed and focused, even when I'm feeling like my confidence level is at a zero. I've always wanted to be an actor. I have never had a plan B or a backup in case it doesn't work out. There is nothing else I can see myself doing. However, I am also fairly introverted. I'm quite reserved and only really my most confident around my close friends and family. It's quite the contrast seeing as actors appear to be some of the most confident people we see. Now, training as a young actor is challenging. Training as a young actor who gets really nervous is even more challenging. When I was younger, I would join loads of youth theatre companies and drama classes, and I would always struggle with being bold and energised on stage, as my nerves would always get the better of me. Fear is a direct enemy of confidence, and I had fear in spade loads. Despite being told that I was talented and had the capable, facilities to achieve my dream. It wasn't until I got to drama school at the age of 18 when one of my acting tutors helped me figure out what it was I was so fearful of. Now, in and amongst the fear of letting people down or the fear of mishaps on stage, it was mainly to do with two key factors: faking and specificity. Now, I'm sure a lot of us have heard the very infamous sayings from either TV or films or in life in general: fake it till you make it. Or, in terms of acting, pretend the whole audience is naked. You're nervous? Oh, just act like you're confident. Now, as helpful as this can be to some people, I've realised why it was completely unhelpful to me. How could I fake confidence on stage if I'd never felt confidence on stage? It was really quite conflicting. As I said earlier, acting is about telling the truth. As much as we're playing characters and using lots of imagination and the audience are suspending their disbelief, our work is primarily based on being honest and authentic. How can I be honest whilst also being told to fake it? I would watch endless videos of my favourite actors and directors and writers, and all of them would say in interviews to just tell the truth, be transparent, be honest. I knew that was what I had to do. I just wasn't sure how to achieve it. Then, this tutor at drama school tested out an exercise on me, an exercise you might want to try. She asked me to pick up something and speak about it for 2 minutes in front of my class of 18 people in as much detail as I could. The only thing I had on me was a bottle of water. So I picked up my bottle of water and for 2 minutes in front of the whole class, I spoke about it. Every time I felt like I was running out of things, my teacher would urge me to go even further into detail about the water bottle. Everything from the colour, the design, the font on the label, how much water was in it, how heavy it was, how cold it was. Everything I could squeeze into 2 minutes, I did. Once I'd finished, she asked me if I felt nervous doing that or apprehensive. And I said, no, not at all. Because of the level of detail and how specific I was being, I had the confidence to talk about that water bottle and not worry about anything else. There was a clear focus and intention, a singular drive that sustained me throughout that 2-minute description. This was something I was then able to take into rehearsal rooms and performance or auditions. And it's what I think might help some of you out there who have similar struggles. If I'm in a scene and I'm speaking to another character, I want to have a clear objective, a concise reason as to why I'm saying those words. Like right now, I'm saying these words here in front of me to offer my experience to help any of you out there who might find this of use. The lines on a script or the words in a book are there for a reason and should all have purpose and intention. No stone should be left unturned. When I sit down with a script at home or I'm working in rehearsal, I'm constantly looking for the most targeted and often simple way of putting things in order to get the most out of a scene. For example, if at one point in a script, my character wants their mother to get them a drink of water, and then 10 lines later, my character has one in their hands, I want to know what happened and what my character did in order to get what they wanted. How did I get my mother to bring me a glass of water? I want to know the reason why. A very important word when it comes to being specific. Did I persuade her? Did I intrigue her? Did I force her? And if so, on which of those 10 lines did I do it? When did I affect the other character so much that they helped me to achieve my objective? This all comes from really interrogating the text, reading it over and over, exploring your options, and eventually settling on one specific intention. So if it was to persuade, that would change the way I would say, "Can you get me a glass of water?" if that was the line, for example. Now, being specific about what you're saying, who you're saying it to, and why you're saying it is vital. If you're stood in front of a classroom of 30 students, delivering a presentation or reading aloud, know why you're doing that. It could be to change their views or to educate them on something they've never heard of. Whatever it may be, if you're specific about what you're delivering and know why you want to deliver it, your focus will be primarily on getting that across. Not only that, but it gives you the ability to apply it in any shape or form. Whether you're specific methodically, like in mathematics or science, or specific analytically in English or social studies, it can all aid your learning and push you further. That's what I've learned through acting, is that words give us reason. They give us insights. They give us subtext. Knowing why you want to achieve something enriches it that much more. It makes the things we set out to do even more valuable and worthwhile. Nothing we do in life is really empty. We're doing it all for a purpose, whether we realize it or not. So being specific will help you be detailed. It will help you be assured in what you're saying, and it will strengthen the power behind it. Now, with all that being said, this is not about completely denying the existence of nerves or a lack of confidence. A lot of the time, I see it as something I should be embracing, as it often means you care. You care about your own well-being, or you care about the work you're doing and you want it to go well. It also isn't saying that confidence is about being the loudest or the boldest person in the room. You can be extremely confident and not say a word. Yes, lots of confident people we see in the media or on telly or in newspapers can be controversial or loud or funny or provocative. But confidence can also come in the forms of being calm, being relaxed, being organised. If you do feel you lack confidence in any form, it can be helpful to think about flipping the narrative. Instead of sitting in it or trying to distract from it, you should try to figure out ways to, one, be kind to yourself, and then progress from there. As I said right at the top of this talk, your own confidence is different every day, and you shouldn't feel guilty for having moments when it may dip. I certainly am not confident every single day, and constantly feel the pressure I put on myself, especially in a national lockdown. A lot of times, it's very menial things like keeping fit or eating well. Other times, it's my job, my happiness, my social life, anything. It can be anything. However, like most obstacles, if you're able to locate the cause of the barrier, you then have the knowledge, the wherewithal to find the tools to overcome it. I really hope this has been of some kind of help to you, however big or small. Even if you already feel like you knew everything I've said, thank you for sticking around anyway. Thank you for having me as part of this amazing, amazing event. I can imagine it's going to be so helpful for a lot of people. Wherever you may be on this track of improving your confidence, do it with kindness, playfulness, and, for the time being, at a social distance. Thank you very much.